it sounds like there's a lot of stresses for you going on at home. Now, I guess, I already talked about how I was worried that that kind of physical aspect of the arguments that you're having would count as a form of domestic family violence, a form of physical abuse. Is it all right if I do a few more questions? I've asked you about different areas of your life. Can I ask you a few more specific questions just so I can determine, I guess, risk level for you or your safety?
Yeah, okay.
I guess one of the questions I'd like to ask, you do already mention that you feel like you feel safe at home.
Yeah.
I guess I'll ask it again, but do you feel safe to go home? Do you feel safe in your own home?
Yeah. Yes, I mean, yes.
And you never feel like when those arguments are sort of escalated that you've never felt like you're not safe anymore?
I don't like I don't like when we have those fights. I'm worried about the kids. But I'm safe while I'm staying.
Okay. And do you feel that these sort of arguments and these behaviours that you've been describing to me that your partner does, do you feel like they're pretty much the same as they've been for quite some time, or do you feel like it's getting worse lately?
I feel like when we got married, I always knew he was controlling, or I don't know when it changed. But yeah, maybe we're fighting more, and things have gotten worse.
Okay. But maybe over years, perhaps, or do you feel like things have changed in the last, say, month?
No, I feel like over the years.
Okay. Now, one of the things that we didn't talk about was, sex and your sort of intimate relationship with your partner. Is it all right if I ask you a few more questions about that? Because sometimes that can be something that plays in with a lot of these questions. Have you ever felt like your partner is forced or kind of made you feel guilty, for not having sex or not wanting to have sex, or you felt like you've been pressured into doing something you may not have wanted to do?
I think that, I think that he feels like that's, if we've had a fight, obviously, I don't necessarily want to be intimate, but he wants to sort of reconnect. So there's been times when, I probably haven't been comfortable.
Yeah, okay. And during sex, or I guess at any time, has he ever put any kind of pressure onto your neck or put his hands around your neck or anything like that?
No.
Great. That's excellent. Now, you did talk a little bit about this kind of, you described him as sort of has had controlling behaviours in the past. And it sounds like, he checks your phone and he's been kind of jealous and accused you of having relationships, that weren't occurring. So would you say that he is quite jealous or can be quite controlling in certain aspects?
Yes, but I'm not doing anything. But yeah, he gets quite jealous.
Yep. And you don't rely on him to care for you at any point or anything like that? You're quite independent with him?
Yeah.
Has he ever threatened to hurt you or kill you or pets or family members or anything like that?
No.
Good. Excellent. And he's never threatened to hurt you or the kids?
No.
Or anybody else? Excellent. Now, going back quite a few years, I know your kids are 7 and 9, but when you were pregnant, do you feel like, that behaviour got worse then, or he ever physically hurt you when you were pregnant, or, forced you to do something you didn't want to do, if that behaviour was worse when you were pregnant?
We definitely, it was stressful. I remember particularly in my second one.
Mm-hmm.
We had some fights and I was quite pregnant, and
Yep.
I don't think I had money for petrol.
Yeah, okay.
I had to walk. So he was just being stubborn.
Okay, well, that's very, that it's quite physically taxing to walk a long way when you're pregnant. Are there guns or weapons or anything like that in the house? Okay. And you've never ever contacted police during an argument or
No.
spoken? No. And I guess one of the things I didn't talk about was if your partner has a history of any kind of anxiety, depression, bipolar, any kind of other mental health issue.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, no. And we didn't talk about alcohol either. Is that something that does your partner drink alcohol every day? Do you have times during the week where he would drink a lot more than usual?
He will drink sometimes with, colleagues after work, or on the weekend with his friends. Yeah.
And do you ever feel like it's like a lot more than he would usually drink? Does that make those behaviours? Does he come home and argue more, I guess, when he's been drinking?
He's not great when he's had a bit much to drink. He's quite obnoxious and confrontational, I guess.
Okay. And I guess in the last 12 months, have you separated any time or thought about leaving, or I guess are you thinking about potentially leaving the relationship now?
No, I mean, he's, like I said, I love him, and he's really sorry, and he's trying to, he's talked about doing some counselling. So, I've thought about leaving, but I'm not planning to leave.
Okay. And I guess from a safety perspective, so, we talked about you feel safe to go home, safe to get safe, all that stuff is fantastic, that you feel that way. I guess if things were to change, is there someone that you would confide to or somewhere you might go if you decided that you wanted to leave?
Well, I do have a good friend. I haven't spoken for a while, but I've got, there's a couple of people, or mum and dad, but they're not close by.
Yeah, it can make it quite difficult as well.